Hey there, guys. Come on in. Type in freedom now. Type in freedom now. It's Monday, March 23rd, and I'm Latoya McBean Pompey, an immigration lawyer in New York, working with clients nationwide at McBean Law, where we believe in immigration freedom. So come on in and type in freedom now. I hope you guys had a terrific weekend. We have a lot to cover, okay? A lot to cover. We'll be together for maybe 45 minutes or an hour today. I'll answer your immigration questions after we go through some of the breaking news that is in front of us today. And I also have a terrific success story to share with you guys. So come on in and type in freedom now, freedom now, freedom now. If you're joining us on TikTok, be sure to I'm not certain whether the audio is crystal clear there. If the audio is good on your end, wherever you're watching from, particularly on TikTok, let me know that the audio is good. If you're new to me, welcome. Double tap the screen, of course. Give me some heart, give me some likes, and let's spread this live session to others. If you're joining on Facebook, be sure to share it with your feed. Come on in, McBean Immigration TV. It's a pleasure to be with you today. Now, let's talk about some breaking news. Let's just go right into it. Breaking news, as you guys know, of course, is the fact that ICE has been maybe deployed. I don't know if deployed is the right word to use in this context, but between New York Times is reporting that between 100 and 150 ICE officers were sent to U.S. airports today across the country. And I have a list of the airports that are being have spotted ICE agents, okay, at these U.S. airports. This is an important development, I think, for a number of reasons. The first, of course, is the fact that it creates an environment that is even more fearful and intimidating at the airport. Your number one question to me in 2025 was, can I travel? Can I travel? Can I travel? Domestic travels, for the most part, has pretty much been safe unless you have a removal order, then not so safe. Nowadays, you have to consider the fact that with ICE's presence at a U.S. airport, it elevates things dramatically. Now, here's what the media is reporting today on this issue. First of all, the agents who are at these various airports are not there to make arrests directly. This is what the folks who are under President Trump are saying. I'm going to get into what President Trump is saying momentarily. But those who are lower level folks like Tom Homan, the border czar, and some other individuals, I'm going to share with you what New York Times, their person who spoke to them confidentially about this, said that the ICE agents were not expected to make immigration arrests as part of this assistance to TSA. They're there to help TSA. This person says that they're not there to make these immigration arrests. They're just there to help with getting folks through the line. Okay, because the lines are incredibly long, because TSA is suffering from a huge budget crisis right now in light of the budget talks on Capitol Hill with DHS funding. And so now you have Tom Homan saying also that ICE is there to help with staffing shortages. And that's primarily what their goal is at this time. Now, President Trump, on the other hand, had various more aggressive things to say about this. Specifically, he said in a Truth Social quote, if the radical left Democrats don't immediately sign an agreement to let our country in particular, our airport be free and safe again, I will move our brilliant and patriotic ICE agents to the airport where they will do security like no one has ever seen before, including the immediate arrest of all illegal immigrants who have come into our country. All illegal immigrants who have come into our country will be arrested by ICE at the airport. Now, you've just got to laugh at that statement. Why can't you just arrest folks who are just out there? What there is a huge problem with their deportation plans, and they know it. The mass deportation plan is it's just not working. But anyway, he then says illegal immigrants who have come into our country um, uh, with heavy emphasis on those from Somalia. Okay. I look forward to moving ICE in on Monday today and have already told them, get ready, no more waiting, no more games. All caps with exclamation points, by the way. All caps, okay, to emphasize the point here. Get ready, no more waiting, no more games. Um, so, friends, that's what the White House is saying. And then you have folks who are a little bit more, I would say, level headed, who are saying that they're there just to really help folks get through the lines. Now, according to the media, these agents are not wearing masks. They're not as intimidating looking as they are in the communities. Okay. They're not wearing military style gear. If you've seen any of the photos that are out there on their presence, like in Newark, New Jersey, and JFK here in New York, they look they're based on what's been reported so far, there were like 4 agents there at JFK, 4 at Newark. Now, the airports where um, they've been deployed, quote unquote, to are Chicago, Cleveland, Atlanta, Houston, JFK here in New York, LaGuardia, Puerto Rico, New Orleans, Newark, Philadelphia, Phoenix, Pittsburgh, and let's see, Southwest Florida International Airport. Those are the airports, okay? But should you be worried? Should you be worried? I say no. No to worry. Bad English, but you get it. No to worry. Let's just type that in. No to worry. We're not going to be intimidated and fearful about this, right? No to worry. Let's do that. Type that in. Say no to worry. Say no to fear. Say no to intimidation. And let's watch how this plays out. But now, on the other hand, should you show up at JFK tomorrow thinking that you'd like to fly to LA? Okay, and you have no papers here in the United States. Is that a good idea? No, it is not a good idea. If you're lawful here in the United States, it's fine. I don't think you should be fearful. If you have a removal order, well, with ICE there or not, whether they're at the airport or not, you should not be traveling at this time either domestically. Because if you have a removal order, the government months ago made it clear that TSA is sharing your traveler information with ICE for the purpose of finding individuals who have a removal order. So you've got to, at this time, guys, exercise um, exercise a lot of caution. Someone wrote, no to worry. KNOW. That's cute. So NO, right? That's so cute. So no to worry, no to fear, no to intimidation. Live your life wisely. Okay? Wisely. Now, so that's what's going on. So let's just watch how this plays out as with everything, okay? But just put off if you can, if you choose to, put off those immediate travel plans. You know, whether you're traveling around the United States or outside of the United States, use caution and travel if it's only an emergency. But for the most part, I would just stay a little bit, no need to travel, right? Okay. Next big news is this, and by the way, I forgot to play the intro earlier. That's why I started off laughing like, "Oops, forgot to play our cute intro." The second news is this, guys, and this isn't great. This isn't great, and it has to do with the fact that the State Department is extending the visa bond to many more countries. They are now up to a total of 50 countries across the globe that are facing these very big visa bans. Just a reminder, if you're not in the loop about this already, the State Department has put in place, they started as a little, maybe like a little test run with it early last year by notifying various U.S. embassies across the globe that they need to now charge a bond of 5,000 to 15,000, between 5,000 to 15,000 bond to issue the visa for visitors, those who are traveling here for business as well, for medical reasons. Those individuals will have to put up a bond. Now, it's up to the discretion, of course, of the embassy official who's issuing the visa to you or making a decision about the visa application to determine whether you should indeed have a bond put up or not. And that bond is for the purpose of securing your return to your home country and not overstaying your visa. That's the goal of this bond. And so now there are 50 countries, guys, that are on this bond list, including Grenada. There's so many. Many of them are African countries, of course, but then you also have countries like Nepal, Nicaragua, that have been added not too long ago. Ethiopia is now on it. Nigeria is on it. Bangladesh. Bangladesh was on it. Yeah, Bangladesh was added in January, as a matter of fact. Antigua was added in January as well. And Dominica, Cambodia, Burundi, Botswana, Mongolia, so many countries, Mozambique, Nicaragua, um, Lesotho, many countries, 50, are on this list now of the visa bond. Our government has said that the program is successful. They've put out a press release, so to speak, saying that this program is successful with a 97% compliance rate among participants. And our government has also said that it would save up to $800 million annually by offsetting deportation costs. So just be aware, if you're going to a U.S. embassy and there's a visa bond, you're told that you're going to have to pay $15,000 or $10,000. These are all U.S. dollars, by the way, guys. U.S. dollars, not local dollars. US dollars. That be ready for this, okay? Be ready for it. You can find, someone is asking me, where can we find that list? You could find this information on the State Department's website. Just Google State Department visa news and you will see this information. Type in freedom now, guys, and let me know where you're joining from today before we switch to something that I think is a great news to share. Freedom Now, Freedom Now. Come on in and double tap the screen. We're having our Monday Freedom Now live Q&A show. Thank you so much for being with me today. Next, friends, this is exciting. So let me just light it up. Let's set the stage. Very exciting news. So, McBean Law, we have filed our 39 country 39 country adjudication pause lawsuit against USCIS. We filed it in Boston. Okay, it's filed in Boston, and we had 99 plaintiffs. So we're really, really thrilled that we have so many of you in this lawsuit. My goal, personally speaking, was 100. You guys know that. I said it publicly. Oh, we want 100. I just had that number in my mind. 100. And we had it. We had more than that. But for various reasons, it went down to 99. And we filed it. And we are asking the court very specifically to lift this awful USCIS adjudication pause that is on the applications of our plaintiffs. The stories, friends, are amazing, compelling stories that we have shared in our complaint to the government. This is a litigation process. It's of course unpredictable. Um, I'm keeping the plaintiffs updated, and many of them are watching right now. We've been emailing you, and we have our plaintiff only litigation tracking page that we have shared with you, and the password as well, so that you could keep up with this lawsuit. It's very exciting. There are more motions and such that we are adding or filing in this lawsuit. So more to come. But for the most part, this has started. It's real. We're reaching out to the U.S. Attorney's Office, as a matter of fact, today about this case. And we're, I personally, just so you understand, I looked at all of those statements, those declarations, so many of them. This was hundreds of pages of filing, guys, hundreds of pages. And I revised your declarations, your statements over and over and over and over again, because I think it's very important for your stories to come out. We have folks who are doing important work here in our country, doctors, researchers. Some children are a part of this as well. U.S. citizens who are filing for their spouse in the middle of the process. USCIS has shut down their process. So many compelling stories. Some of our plaintiffs are ill. Many have lost their jobs. Many are facing very big problems in their life as a result of this one policy. So we are being very aggressive, and we filed our lawsuit. And we're very excited about this. We have a second lawsuit that we're currently preparing, and it is for those of you, you might know it as the 75 country visa ban. That lawsuit is being prepared. We have onboarded our plaintiffs. Onboarding has ended, and we're only taking plaintiffs from 52 countries. Now, so be aware, plaintiffs, that we're going to be reaching out to you this week to get your declarations signed. Okay, so very exciting work. If we do end up opening another cohort for the USCIS adjudication pause problem, I will let you guys know. Okay, but thank you so much, plaintiffs. Thank you so much for all of those who have joined this lawsuit. Just know that we are working incredibly hard behind the scenes for you all throughout the weekend as well, as a matter of fact. So more to come on this, but pay attention to your emails, because that's where you are getting the information from us. So we're very excited about that. Lastly, friends, also some good news in Washington State. Washington State, the governor has signed a new law that requires all law enforcement officers to show their faces. California had something very similar, and a court has recently blocked it. But this Washington law is a lot broader than the California law, from what I understand, because the Washington law applies to all law enforcement officials. So this takes effect immediately. Immediately. Now, I'm excited, guys, about all that is going on. Very excited. And lastly, yesterday we shared a terrific success story involving our client from Mexico who took a very major step towards getting his U visa relief. He had entered the United States at 4 years old, when he was only 4 years old, and he was a witness to, guys, this is so important that you understand this part. He was a witness to severe domestic violence in his house, against his mother, against his brother, and he also experienced some violence. And there were multiple incidents that were documented in police reports, and he came to us, and he's a grown man now, grown man, and we said to him, you know, you might have a U visa case, despite the fact that all of this happened many, many years ago when you were so young and you witnessed most of it. Certainly, we looked at all of the documentation. We conducted our case assessment, which is our method of doing things here at McBean Law. We looked at shelter reports, police reports, and to demonstrate that there's a long-term impact to the abuse that he witnessed and suffered. And we reached out to the NYPD, New York Police Department, to certify the case, and certainly they certified it in February. So this is the critical first step that is required. And we also have a case that I was told about this morning that was approved in 4 months. A marriage case. More details will come, but a marriage case, they were just interviewed last month and they were approved already. And so that was, in my opinion, a straightforward case. I believe it was a same-sex marriage too, actually. Straightforward case. But why do we share some of those types of cases with you? Because I want you to see that the system still works, okay? And if you have a good case with immigration, present that case. Hey there from Michigan. Let's go into your immigration questions today. If you're now joining, certainly watch the replay. Watch the replay. Good to see you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Why are illegal aliens going through the airport? Well, you know, first of all, they I think I should skip that, and let me just skip that one because sometimes it's not good to say what I want to say in certain forums. Okay, let's go. Any updates on SIG? No, I do not have any updates on SIG at this time. Thank you. Double tap the screen. Double tap the screen. Let's go down here. Not to worry, not to worry. Let's see. Can you travel domestically when you have a case pending for, this person says that they have a pending adjustment of status. Can you travel if you have a pending case with immigration? So, like I said earlier, I don't think it's a great idea to be traveling around the United States until you have your maybe green card. Let's just say it that way. I think that now with the presence of ICE there, it really does elevate things. And I think right now we should be in a watch and see mode. Watch and see what they're going to do. Today is just day one. Today is day one. They might not do anything. We might not hear any big reports over the next few weeks. It might not be anything to be concerned about. And if that's the case, well, then you make your decision about your travel plans. But for now, I think it's just safer to stay away from that. They're not trained with screening. They're not trained to do the work that TSA does with screening. So it's unclear what they're really going to do there, but we'll see. We'll see. I have a pending appeal and I still have to check in with ICE. And this is a question from someone on TikTok. Here you go. You're gonna need you're gonna need some tools, okay? Legal tools if you're checking in with ICE these days. You're going to need proof that you have your case on appeal. I don't know what type of appeal this is, whether it's to the BIA. I don't know what you're referring to there. You might even need a habeas prepared, right? Petition. You're going to need to sit down with your lawyer. If you do not have one, you could reach out to us, but you're going to need to have some things in your tool belt ready to go. If you have medical conditions, you should certainly bring proof of those medical paperwork to show that you have a problem. However, I just want to caution you guys that even if you have medical problems, that will not prevent ICE from detaining you if you go there unprepared to check in with them. All right, so reach out to us. Happy to discuss this further with you. Thank you very much. Local law enforcement can run your license plates. Yes, they can. They do. They've always been doing that, always. Um, what about if I'm going back to my country after overstaying in the United States? Are they going to make a big deal about that? I don't think so. If you're exiting, normally they do not care. Okay? No, they do not care if you're going to be leaving the United States. All right? Thank you. All right. Great question, guys. This is a good one. If your I-130 is in process since 2023 and you've only received your receipt notice, can they put you in removal? So, um, well, yes, potentially, right? Let's say, for instance, they call you in for an interview and it doesn't go so well, or they have other things on the record related to, or you have other things on the record that raises a big flag to immigration. Certainly, they can definitely arrest you or detain you, I should say, and put you in removal. They can do that. Just because you have a pending I-130 under this administration, it doesn't mean that you won't be, you can't be, I should say, detained. All right. Great question, Maxine. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. I filed my I-485 adjustment of status with USCIS, and the final action date is now current. Any chance of adjudication now? I'm from Nigeria. You filed your 485. Okay, the adjustment of status case, and you're from Nigeria, which is one of those countries, the 39 countries that the case is paused. So the answer is no, they're not going to get your case all the way until the end with a decision, despite the fact that your priority date is current or and you're ready to go. It doesn't matter. That's why addressing this problem head on is so important, I think. And I'm very excited to for us to be able to make a case for our 99. I have to laugh. 99 plaintiffs. That's an inside joke, by the way. Okay, get on the inside. Get on the inside with us at McBean Law Friends. The way to get on the inside is by getting on our email list. Subscribe today at mcbeanlaw.com/subscribe. Get on the inside. Get on the inside. I have a 2-year green card. Okay, that's the conditional residency card. If you have that 2-year green card, be sure to transition correctly to the 10-year process. That's through the I-751 removal of conditions petition. Okay, do not file the I-90 if you only have a 2-year green card. Also, file early within 90 days of your 2-year green card expiring. Otherwise, you will go out of status, and that could be a very big problem. When will they resume the citizenship oath ceremony? Well, folks are becoming new citizens, but if you're from one of those 39 countries, they are not proceeding with the oath ceremony. Um, uh, what should you do if you entered without inspection and they've sent you to the border for an I-94? I would want to know who sent you to the border. Um, uh, what process are you going through that would ensure that you're not going to be detained at the border if you just show up there? What protection do you have? Be very careful with this. You could speak one-on-one with us about that. That was a question from Instagram. Thank you. What are the countries, the 39 countries? We have a list on our website. Go to mcbeanlaw.com/litigation, and you will see the list of 39 countries impacted by the adjudication pause. Or you could also Google or AI. You'll find the information very easily. Use AI. Okay, let's go down here Do I have any updates for immigrants from Sierra Leone? No, unfortunately, I do not. You're still subject, unfortunately, to the travel ban. There has not been any real update about the travel bans that are in effect. The government had promised that they were going to go in and modify the list after a period of time, but I haven't seen any modification to the travel ban list. Okay, double tap the screen, friends. Share this live session with others. You never know who next door or next to you or someone in the cubicle next to you who might need some information, but don't share this on your company computer. All right, but share this live session and these videos with others because a lot of people are desperate for help and answers. Can careless driving lead to deportation? Well, careless driving, what do you classify? What do you call careless driving? Was alcohol and drugs involved? Was anyone injured in this careless driving incident? What happened? Because that's where the deportation or removal um, a claim, so to speak, can be made. A case can be made by the government. Okay, so we could unpack this a little bit further for you. um, Now, if you're driving, here's how a very simple way that it could lead to deportation. You're driving and you get into a little incident, and the police comes on the scene, and you don't have any maybe you don't have a driver's license or insurance, and you're detained, you're arrested, and you're in one of those counties where they cooperate with ICE and share your information once they realize that you do not have papers here, because some counties are asking for that information and sharing. So then ICE gets involved with a detainer, and there you have it. Then you could be dragged into the removal system that way, just from a simple, careless driving incident. Freedom now, guys. I see someone is joining today from St. Croix. I see Haiti is in the house. Miami, Florida is here. Brooklyn, New York. Awesome. Who else is on? Tell me where you're joining from today. We just filed the I-130 form. Can you please tell me the processing time? Well, it will depend on the category of petitioner. As I've mentioned earlier in a success story, just earlier, that two of our clients filed 4 months ago through us, and the green card was approved. And this is a marriage case. I don't have the details yet as far as the jurisdiction. I'm not sure where this happened, but it could happen this way. And sometimes you'll have to wait maybe more than a year or 2 years on the I-130. And then depending on your category, you could be waiting many years, several years for that matter. It depends on which category you're in. Thank you, guys. Let's see. Someone is asking about the 601A and the I-212 waiver while your I-130 is pending. So you do the I-212 comes after the I-130 approval. So you're going to need that I-130 approved first. It sounds like you will need some legal help, okay, based on your questions. You can reach out to us for a consultation. Friends, I forgot to say that at McBean Law, we are reachable at 914-898-9488 for a consultation with an immigration attorney who is licensed to practice law. We work with clients all across the United States. Oh my God. And I just remember the biggest testimony that I can't wait to share with you guys very, very, very soon in a video. But it did happen on Friday involving our client who we won his individual hearing, okay, won his individual hearing. And in that hearing, in his case, he needed an I-601 waiver and adjustment of status all before the immigration judge, and the judge approved the case. But there is so much more to it because he was detained. We did just to back it up, he had an old removal order when he came to, he had a consultation with me 5 years ago. And we started the journey with him. He had his old removal order when he came to us. We then did a prosecutorial discretion case, PD case, to ask ICE at that time to join us with our motion to reopen his removal case and terminate the whole removal process, because he had been here for many years. He was in a good, solid marriage, has children, great background. But there was some misrepresentation on his record or fraud. And so anyway, ICE agreed to it. And then the case went to the BIA for their approval. They approved it. Then we got him his green card interview ready to go in Phoenix, Arizona, I believe. And then lo and behold, they just decided we're going to arrest him and put him right back in the removal system. Totally unjust, everything unlawful. Then we had to fight tooth and nail to get him out from the detention through a motion for a bond. It was hard, but it worked. And then after they released him, then now he has his hearings in court. And we finally had his last hearing. By the way, guys, like I said, we started this journey with him 5 years ago, and the government was wrong to place him back in the system a few months ago. But he got his green card approved on Friday in court. And this is so amazing. I called him late Friday night from home, and I said, "Woo, the Lord has done something mighty for you." And he agreed. He agreed. So I'll share more details with you, but don't give up. Don't give up. Just get strategic and hunker down and fight. Okay. Thank you. Let's go. Freedom now. Freedom now. So we're reachable at McBean Law at 914-898-9488 for a paid consultation with an attorney. What if a person reapplied for employment authorization, but USCIS never renewed it? Why didn't they do it? What is the cause of that? So, to get to the bottom of why your work permit was not renewed, we would need to see the denial letter. Okay, it could be for many reasons. Maybe the underlying application that your work permit was connected to was denied. That's usually a good reason. Okay, Trinley. Okay, let's see. Um, what are the chances for a Nigerian person who's awaiting an F1 immigrant visa interview? What are the chances? Um, the government, the embassy is still, processing these cases. There are obviously there's travel ban that's in effect, but where I'm trying to think, where does Nigeria fit into all of this? And I'm drawing a blank right now because I'm thinking about 50 things at the same time. Okay, but the embassy, I have not heard any problems. I have not heard any problems. Um, that is worth discussing now. I have my final hearing in June. Okay, what type of case what relief are you putting forward to the immigration judge in June? Um, can you travel to Canada even though you have based on withholding of removal? No, you cannot, because if you left the United States, you won't be able to return. Okay? You won't be able to return. Okay. Oh, it's an asylum case. This person has an asylum final hearing coming up in June. I wish you well. Be very well prepared for and to answer the government's questions about your case. Make sure you have a lot of good evidence to support your claim, because the government, it is very tough these days to get an asylum case approved. Okay. Once the ban has been lifted and you've had your interview, will they issue you your visa? That's what I'm expecting to happen. I think that, however, it will depend on how long the ban is in place. Let's say, and we're talking about the 75 country immigrant visa ban from a question from Instagram. So with respect to how long it's how long you've been in this 221G maybe process of just on hold because of this awful ban. Well, if your documents expire, the embassy will issue you a letter telling you to please resubmit these various documents, fresh documents, so that they could consider whether any changes have been made and such. So, thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Freedom now, guys. Freedom now. Is it safe to request your FOIA records? Someone is asking on McBean Immigration TV. We have not seen any problems with this. And we have people who have various backgrounds who we work with, okay? I have not seen yet. Things could change, of course, under this administration, but I have not seen any negative consequence to anyone who has requested their records from immigration. As a matter of fact, it is good to get the records before sending in a new case. If you're working with a lawyer, that lawyer should request your records before filing anything. Thank you for the gifts there on TikTok. Thank you very much. Freedom Now, Nikel. Thank you for being here. All right, let's keep going. You guys are asking some great questions. All right. Um, I-360, I-485, and I-765 under the C-31 category. Um, can I reapply for I-765, which is the work permit, under adjustment of status category, since I have the I-485 receipt and biometrics done? A friend said her sister did that after a long wait. Is it possible in my experience? It is possible um, to apply for a work permit under the I-485, absolutely, and change the category. Um, I would want to I would want to kind of have a one-on-one with you to dive a little bit deeper into things before making any changes. And by the way, you also have based on what you've said there, you have a pending I-765 EAD application under the other category. Um, with immigration, I'm hesitant here in what I'm saying because with immigration, you've got to be very careful and strategic about every application that you send in. Okay. Very careful about that. You can't just go throw things at them just because you've heard through the grapevine, or even, quite frankly, because you've heard some lady in her pink jacket on Monday, March 23rd on YouTube say this to you, or TikTok or Instagram. You've got to really know what you're doing and before you do it. Okay. So you could have a one-on-one with us to talk about your strategy and what you're thinking and why you'd want to do something like that. Can I travel to Canada for 1 week after I had filed my I-751 petition? You can travel on your I-751 during that process. You're going to need to have your, document with you, of course, showing that you are in your extension period, certainly. Okay. Is it risky for green card holders to leave the country at this time? I don't think it's that risky, to be honest with you. I think green card holders can travel outside of the United States, and it's happening even as we speak, and they're coming in even as we speak. But just know your background and know your situation very well, green card holder, before you leave the United States. Any update on DACA? Unfortunately, I do not have any update at this time. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Freedom now, guys. Freedom now. Thank you for your patience. And guys, tell me where you're joining from today, please. A person who has the overstayed in the United States but left because of personal reasons is now engaged to be married to a U.S. citizen. How how long before he can get a visa if his fiance files for him. So if you're going to do the fiance visa process, uh, that could range from 6 months to 12 months on average. But just know that immigration, generally speaking, is slowing down. I also don't know which embassy you're going to be going through. So, depending on the embassy that you would be going to, I should say, for your visa interview, those processing times might change. Any update on the 75 country pause, immigrant visa pause? Caroline is asking. No, not at this time. For us, we're working on our lawsuit for our plaintiffs. Thank you. Freedom Now. Thank you. Let's see. My I-130 is still pending. 45 was denied. Days later, I received a letter. It was sent in error. I'm not sure what you're asking there. Um, are you saying that USCIS told you that they sent you a denial letter in error? Is that what you're saying? Can I travel with only an extension letter? Yes, you can travel with your extension letter. Um, and a copy and your green card, of course, the expired one with the 2-year green card I'm talking about here, guys, the 2-year green card. Where can I find a list of the 39 banned countries? You could Google, we'll share it with you. But we have it on our website as well at mcbeanlaw.com/litigation. You could go to our website. Will the lawsuit be filed nationwide? Our lawsuit is not it's not a class action. It's not nothing like that. Yes, we do have clients from plaintiffs from all across the United States who are part of our 39 country lawsuit, but we're asking the government, the judge, to make a decision with respect to our plaintiffs' applications only. Thank you. Let's go down. Let's go over here. I would like to sue USCIS. This is a super chat question, by the way. Thank you for your super chat. How much is the cost to sue them? I can't share with you our attorney fees, but we certainly work on mandamus actions one-on-one. When I say one-on-one, outside of this group context, group lawsuit context, our group lawsuit was $1,500 to join. The mandamus one-on-one is a lot more than that. I will say that much. Um, it's a lot more than that. But you could start with a consultation and we will share with you whether we think a lawsuit is even the way to go here, okay? Happy to have that discussion with you. Freedom Now, guys. Thank you so much for being here today. Maxine says, thank you for answering my question. Thank you for circling back with your thank you. Let's see. Um, let's see. Let's go down just a little bit. See if I find something a little different. Removal proceedings. This person says removal proceeding due to I-485. I missed the interview date based on an approved VAWA. I refiled the I-45 with USCIS. My lawyer wants me to go to court by myself, and then she will see what happens after that. So here you have a person who was placed in the removal system because her I-45 adjustment of status application was denied. And she has a VAWA case. The I-360 on the VAWA side was approved. And she has a lawyer who has advised her go to the hearing on your own. Now, but she also refiled the I-45. The I-45 refiling might not work out because most likely you're under the jurisdiction of the removal system now. And if and depending on your whether you're an arriving alien or not, you are an arriving alien or not, you most likely would not get the approval of the I-45, but you know, your lawyer knows your case better than me, and whether you're an arriving alien or not. So I think there's going to be there's a little hiccup there. I do think there's a little hiccup there with the I-45 refiling, with your master hearing coming up. Judges would prefer that you have an attorney represent you during the process. And so the judge might very well say to you, we're going to adjourn this hearing until you come back with an attorney. So it buys you time. That's what it does strategically. But yeah, speak with your attorney more about what he or she is thinking there. Double tap the screen on Instagram. It's great to have you with me today during this time. I'm just answering a few more questions before we go. Can I still file a K-1 visa? The K-1 process still works. Okay, someone says that the I-45 case is still pending. That's good. I just saw that. I'm not sure what you'd like me to comment on, though. I'm not clear. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Any updates on the naturalization ceremonies for Venezuelans? No, not at this time, because to my understanding, based on the adjudication pause, Venezuela is on that list, and we have plaintiffs in our lawsuit from Venezuela. So Venezuela is on that adjudication pause list, so they're not moving forward with those oath ceremonies, unfortunately, during this time. I've always filed my taxes married but separate. Is it going to affect us for our 485 interview? I don't think so. So long as you filed properly. Now, hopefully, you'll have other things in your filing that makes the case that you're in a genuine marriage. Sometimes, friends, just keep in mind, not sometimes, all the time, it's the USCIS is looking at the whole picture, the full picture of your relationship. Most times it doesn't just come down to you missing one document or one piece of evidence like jointly filed taxes. It's your prerogative, I think, certainly to file taxes, prepare taxes the way that you see fit. But it does help, yes, to have jointly filed taxes. You'll be fine so long as you have other evidence there to show that you're in a genuine marriage. Someone says, I've been waiting almost 3 years now for my I-751 petition to be approved. The government gives a 48-month extension, okay? It doesn't mean that your case was a bad one. It just means that things have slowed down, and you're still in lawful status, which is what's really important, okay? Do you think it's safe to travel now knowing that ICE is at the airport? I did cover that issue at length earlier. I have a master calendar hearing coming up at Federal Plaza in New York. Do you think I will get deported? I will only know the answer to that once I learn more about why they placed you in removal and whether you have any relief in front of you or not. And I will also try to provide you with some clarity about whether a relief could be available for you and what arguments could be made for you in the during the removal process. Let's see. I have been denied the NIV 3 times, and my I-140 has been approved. Okay, I'm from one of those 75 countries. Can my NIV denial be an issue for my IV, my immigrant visa? My PD is current. Okay, so NIV, here you're talking about non-immigrant visa. I thought you were talking about the national interest waiver. I don't know why I was thinking V is W there, but I was. Okay, so this person says, let me just read this in layman's terms here. I have been denied my visitor visa maybe 3 times. I do have an approved I-140, however, petition for alien worker. I am from one of those 75 immigrant visa ban countries. Can my previous denials be an issue for my immigrant visa? And my priority date is current. I'm curious to know why you were refused 3 times for the visa and which specific visa on the non-immigrant side did you apply for? That's one thing. Secondly, you're now going for the immigrant visa, but you're from one of those banned countries. So the U.S. Embassy will interview you, but they will not issue the visa based on maybe your record, if there is a record there of denial that they with an issue that they're deeply concerned about, they will note that. And then also based on this pause as well, okay? Or you just might get the letter from them that says we're refusing you of the visa because of this 75 country pause right now based on public charge reasons. It does apply to employment-based visas as well as family-based visas. Now, so I think that's those are the issues there to address. Thank you. Can my child start the paperwork now if he turns 21 in October? Certainly he could start working on the case for you, but he should not file it until he is 21. Otherwise, the case will be rejected by USCIS. Okay? Uh, Um, okay, let's go down. Let's go down. Let's go here. Freedom Now. So, will renew in DACA online 5 months before expiration. Ensure that I am still in good standing with DACA. I have done it online the last 2 times. I think you're fine. I think there's no concern there. Um, I'm hungry. Let's see. If you get married, should you immediately file for adjustment of status or should you wait? I currently have DACA and I plan on getting married next year. So if you're in a relationship that with a lot of good evidence of the journey, if you've been together for years, if you have some evidence together already, then it's fine to immediately file for adjustment of status or file for the green card after getting married. But if you're just starting out in the relationship and you guys don't have much to prove, then it could get tricky at that point, proving that it is a genuine marriage. You could speak with us about what evidence you do have, but speak to us, maybe once you're married, right? You are planning on getting married next year. We will want to be ready to get working on your case. All right. But if you don't have any much right now, work on it. Work towards it. Work towards it. Let's see. I am from, these are super chat questions. I am from Cameroon. It is one of the visa banned countries. I am in the United States with DACA. Um, can I, hold on a second. I need to pull up something here on my end just to make sure that I have the information in front of me. Okay, so let's go here on, okay. Okay. I'm from Cameroon. It is one of the visa banned countries. I'm in the United States with DACA. Can I still adjust my status after I marry my US citizen partner? So you should be able to, yes, because Cameroon, which is what I was pulling up here, Cameroon is not one of the 39 countries that USCIS has paused the processing of those applications. So you can proceed with your case and get your green card despite the fact that you're from Cameroon. Okay, let's go over here. Thank you. Let's see. Um, my I-130 was approved last year, but I haven't heard anything yet. I'm from the Gambia. Um, well, okay, your I-130 was approved. What else? Did you have anything else in front of USCIS, like an I-45 application or anything else? Are you, here in the US? Because the Gambia is part of the adjudication pause. Gambia is part of the adjudication pause. Friends, we're going to be wrapping up now, okay? Here at McBean Law, we're here for you. You can reach out to us again at 914-898-9488 to book a one-on-one consultation with me or with one of my colleagues. We're here for you. We meet in person here in White Plains, New York, or by Zoom or by telephone. It's your choice, but we're here for you, and we believe that experience matters. If you need some encouragement, go to McBean Law's website /success and read some of those stories. We shared a nice one last night with our subscribers. That's on our website as well. Guys, if you are part of our 39 country USCIS adjudication pause lawsuit, just know that we have filed a lawsuit and we're sharing our updates with our plaintiffs by email. So check your email and stay plugged in. Thank you so much. I know that you're suffering. I know that a lot of you are going through a very hard time right now. Please hang in there. Do not lose hope. And just certainly keep the faith. Thanks for being with me today. And I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.